And all right, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Yours truly, Xavier Smith, aka Coach X, and you're joining us live in our conversation of excellence. So here's the deal. If you are a parent raising kids, preteens, teens, whatever the case may be, and they happen to be in that ADHD space, and you want natural approaches that every parent should know about, you need to lean in, because I've got a special guest with me. Sitting right next to me is a good dear friend of mine and champion athlete that I get the privilege of training as a personal trainer and personal life coach, Kristie Chapman. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm just happy to be alive, champ. I cannot complain.
I know. It's a good day.
You know, one of my mottos is, I got another day to play, so it's got to be a great day.
Amen. Amen. I agree.
Right?
Always grateful.
That's it. That is the thermostat that sets our frequency at a high level, and everybody else has to adjust accordingly.
That is right. That's right, for sure.
So let's dive right into this. The topic is, we are raising ADHD warriors. And if you are looking for natural approaches that are non-allopathic pathways, you should lean into this, folks, because we're going to dive right in. Kristie, I had you on the show, and thank you for being here, first of all, because you have personal experience when it comes to this topic. So I want to give you a few minutes to just tell the world who you are and how you ended up here, because you got a fascinating story to share about relating to your son and your daughter and some of the things that they may have or may still be going through. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Kristie Chapman again, and I am a mom of two amazing children. My daughter's 24 and my son is 22. And all of their life, they have struggled with ADD and ADHD. And honestly, I really struggled with it too, especially when it came to high school, is when I really noticed that I was having difficulty in school. And I just want to encourage you. Well, first of all, when Xavier invited me today, I was like, definitely said yes, because it is a passion of mine. I like to help parents and I like to help children that have ADHD and ADD, and maybe autism. It could be anxiety, depression, because there's so many solutions out there. And we know Xavier is all about solutions. So I wish personally I had the solution when my children were younger, because I did see them struggle quite a bit. More so, my son really, really struggled when it came to school. And I want to give the parents hope out there, because there are solutions for it. But also, kids with ADD and ADHD, it's really their superpower, and they will become incredibly successful adults. They just need to find out what it is that they're passionate about and focus that passion towards that goal. And, school just isn't designed for children with ADD and ADHD, but once they can get past that, and they will really thrive and they will be excellent. And, just hang in there with them. I know that I've had many days where it was really hard to watch my kids struggle through it, but as an adult, they're doing so well. And so there definitely is hope. And I have given them a few tools as well. So can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. Let's get a little deeper, closer to that topic. First of all, let's dive in a little bit on your son. What's his name?
Andrew Chapman. He's now 22. And yeah, he was my kid that every time we had the parent teacher conference, I would kind of my heart would just be like, oh gosh, we're going into parent teacher conference. And they would always say, Andrew is a good kid, but we always had that but afterwards. And the but was, he's a class clown, he's disruptive, he's, can't stay focused, he can't sit still. And so, but that was Andrew's coping mechanism for being in that type of environment that just wasn't allowing him to thrive and use his creativity and his energy for a greater purpose. He was in that box, of we got to go to school for 8 hours a day and sit still and behave and listen. And that just wasn't him. And he struggled ever since he was, even when we went to church before preschool, and then ever since preschool, he just definitely struggled with it. It was hard as a parent. I would leave in tears a lot of times just because I felt so bad, because it did affect his self-esteem and his self-worth, because he was always told he's a good person or a good kid, but, and what came after that is what affected him, his self-worth when he was younger.
Okay. All right. So, I love this, because right now I wanted you to paint the picture of what the problem was, so we can, we're going to get to a solution that's been working pretty well for you. So we just spent, if you're just tuning in, folks, we just spent a little bit of time learning about Andrew and the ADHD situation he was dealing with. He's a 22-year-old student, practically an adult. And would you say he's still dealing with those types of issues right now? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse?
Well, it's definitely gotten better, right? Because he's not in that structured environment. And actually what we ended up doing with Andrew, because to be honest, he was failing school dramatically in ninth grade. And he asked us if he could do online school.
Okay.
And, my husband was really nervous that he wouldn't get it done because he wasn't completing homework as it was. So how was he going to do with online? But online ended up being a great solution for him, because he could do it on his own terms. And as long as he was getting good grades, or passing is what we required for Andrew, passing and doing it on time, we would give him the freedom to do just that. And he thrived with that. And he actually caught up and graduated on time, which we were so grateful for, because he was my kid that we were like, oh my gosh, I hope that he makes it through school. That was my kid. And
Right.
It wasn't because he was not smart, because he's very smart, but it was just the environment was a struggle for him.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because you bring that up. He started developing a pathway that worked for him. Personally, your relationship with him, was he the kid that was the asshole, as far as your personal relationship? Tell me a little bit about how he was at home when he was not in public.
Oh, he's a sweet kid. He's such a great kid. I mean, did he have our teenagers a challenge sometimes? Absolutely. And I would just say to my kids, look, I know being a teenager, especially now, parents, oh my goodness, my kids are in their early 20s, but the teenagers now and the younger kids are different. It's a different environment. They're growing up with all this technology, and they're exposed to so much. And the food isn't getting any better. Our water isn't getting any better. Our environment, our air is not getting any better. So we have all these things that are causing some, distractions in our life. And so, I mean, Andrew did have, there were times, and I would tell him all the time, both my kids, it is not easy being a teenager, and it's definitely not easy being a parent. I'm not perfect, but we're going to get through this together. And I did it with as much love as I could.
All right.
But it wasn't always easy.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's good, because there's a lot of, hopefully, if they're not watching now, they will soon see this in a rebroadcast. Parents, I want you to know you are not alone. If you got teenagers in the house that are being complete a-holes and just doing things that you never thought you would do, sorry about that. Hey, babe, I am live right now. You're on the show with me. Negative. All right. Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that. That's the pleasure of going live. I just took a phone call from my wife and answered her question, and we are keeping it rolling.
I love that. I love that.
So
raw and real.
Right. Now let's get to, we put the spotlight on your son, Andrew. Let's talk about your daughter. What kind of situations is going on with your daughter?
So my daughter actually, it was really interesting because I didn't realize that my daughter had ADD. So I think my son had more ADHD and my daughter has more ADD, which is just the attention and the ability to focus. The other one has some hyper components to it.
Mm,
So my daughter did really well in school. And she actually was the kid that she figured out a way to make it work for her, and she did really well. She got straight A's, and a lot of times Andrew would compare himself to her, and I always said, you guys are two different people. And it wasn't until she was in her younger adult years and getting into college where she really realized that she needed some help when it came to that. And she also struggled a lot with anxiety
mm,
and panic attacks. And so and it got really worse once my son did get in a motorcycle accident 4 years ago. And
mm.
so and she did have those suicidal thoughts, and I was worried about her for quite a while. But
Okay.
we found solutions for that too, and really got things turned around for her.
All right. All right. Great. So what was your daughter's name again?
Alexis.
Alexis. So we got your son, Andrew, your daughter, Alexis. Let's put the spotlight on you, Christie. Let's talk about some of the issues that you may have struggled with. Maybe you still are struggling with. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so I did struggle with school when I was growing up, not because I was a dumb person. I didn't have the desire. I didn't like school. I didn't I was the person too, so I could relate to Andrew. I was always getting in trouble for talking. And but you know what? That has served me so well in my adult years. And then I found that being an entrepreneur was my superpower. And so I didn't find that though until I was 36. I'm 55 now. And so it's been 19 years that I've been an entrepreneur, and that me being able to take that creativity, that energy, and the focus and put it on my business and helping to serve other people has been such a gift and so powerful in my life and very fulfilling. And I'm helping a lot of people along the way. So that's truly
Yes.
what I love doing.
All right. Well, this is good because we come to that part of the show where we get to talk about solutions. My
I
favorite part.
love solutions.
All right, folks. Now I get giddy about that because number one, I purposely named my company Excellent Solutions because I knew from the moment I got myself dedicated to my purpose, which was helping people get what they want out of life. Now, Zig Ziglar is probably the one who maybe said it first, but I take that, I give him credit for that because once I heard that, something inside of me shifted.
Mhm.
When I read that and I heard it, it resonated, and it's now. If you go to my Facebook profile, you will see it at the top of my page because it is absolutely true, and that's kind of what my purpose is. Now, I may not have all the solutions under my own umbrella, and that's why I have friends in special places like you, Hercules.
You have quite a few solutions. I come to you all the time for
See, that's what I'm
for
talking about.
yeah.
I want to create an ecosystem where I get to help someone who's ready, mind you, who's ready to go from the land of problems and just low level energy to a land of, hey, wait a minute, maybe there is a better way. And it doesn't have to be the allopathic. Because I wanted to, that reminds me, I need to get back to that question. We were just talking about all the problems that you, your son, and your daughter were having. Did you at any point make a decision to like give them medications for this? Like, how did you want to deal with this before we start talking about what you have as a solution?
Yeah, so with Alexis, no, I honestly didn't, because she was getting such good grades and I didn't have those conversations with teachers saying that she was disruptive and all the things. I didn't know until she was in her adult years that she was struggling with that until she got into college. With Andrew, I will say, and let me tell you, I've learned a lot along the way. But at one point in time, Andrew was in fourth grade, and I thought, my gosh, we have to do something. We tried, um, being on better food and, the thing, you cutting back on sugar and the red dyes and all the things, but nothing was working, and supplements. And at the time, what was out there just wasn't helping him. So we tried in fourth grade. We did put him on medication, but it was very short period of time and he did not like it. And so I took him off of it because he told me, I don't want to be on it. I don't like it. And he's a thin kid and he wasn't eating. And so we took him off, and then we just, tried to do whatever we could naturally to help support him. And
Parents,
then, he did make a decision. I'm glad he communicated with us, because going online was probably the best thing that he could have done for his own self-esteem, and also for, to be able to accomplish the goal of getting his diploma.
oh, that's awesome. And I was going to lean in and say, parents, you need to lean in on that part, because you took the time to actually listen to the feedback he was giving you, and you made a choice, a decision to take him off the medication. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Because I have been party to other conversations that, because the parent maybe put more emphasis and weight on what the person in the white coat would say versus what their own kids were saying when they were on that stuff, and they would repeatedly tell their parents, this, I don't like it, don't want it, it make me feel all funny. But
Yes.
because of what the people in the white coats were saying, they just continued to keep them on that path. And let's just say it ended up being a detriment.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I totally get that. So that brings us to now we get to talk about the solutions. So I wanted to make sure we emphasize that part, because whenever there is a problem, there is a counter solution to it. And that's what we get ready to get into right now. So, Christie, tell us about what has changed your life for the better. Can you spend as much time as you need to on that?
Yes. So I was fortunate enough to find a company, and I actually just started because I hurt my foot. I wasn't looking for anything else to do. I wasn't looking for another product for my health. I thought I was pretty healthy at the time, but I hurt my foot, and I started using a phototherapy patch. And that phototherapy patch truly changed my life in so many different ways. And for my personal health and wellness journey, as well as my children and my family, and a whole bunch of other people that I love and care about, and new people that I've met along the way over the last 4 years. But what happened with, so it worked so well with me that I made a decision that I wanted to share this with the world. I learned about it. I heard so many testimonies, and I said, you know what? I want to be a part of this movement. I want to be a part of this mission, and I want to make sure that everybody learns about this technology. And whether you decide to do it or not is up to you, because that's your journey. So, and then what happened 4 months later is my son got in a motorcycle accident. And the technology truly saved his life. Between God and the technology, they didn't think he was going to live. He also had MRSA, COVID, and pneumonia. He was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. And his brain injuries were pretty intense. The helmet damaged his artery and caused him to have several strokes, traumatic brain injury, brain bleed, like I said. And so when Andrew woke up from his coma, we didn't know if he was going to be brain dead or not, but his long-term and short-term memory were amazing. And we learned that because he damaged the frontal lobe, we learned that however Andrew was prior to the accident, it was going to be magnified after the accident because of the location in his brain. And so the ADD is something that, has been amplified, right? And also, I will say that Andrew, when he was in high school and before the accident, he did struggle from just anger. Like he's a really good kid, but when he did get angry, he had to get it out of him. Like he had to, punch the pillow. We taught him how to like just punch the pillow, or, have a tantrum on your bed or something. You can't punch the wall. It's not going to work. So
Right.
he just had to get that aggression out. So he started doing that, even more so after his accident. But during his accident, we used this technology called phototherapy, and he's still using it to this day. And it has really, really helped him a lot when it comes to his mood, staying focused, his ADD, and so much more. And that is the EON patch that we use on him on a daily basis.
Okay. Okay. I got some questions here. I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick, because
Yes.
what we're talking about, like for the layperson that might be watching this video, desperately seeking solutions, but then their skeptical, cynical mind starts to creep in and like, what the heck? This sounds like a snake oil salesman trying to sell me something. How would
I
you
know.
how would you respond to that?
Well, here's the thing. This technology, it's a little patch and you wear it. Let's see, where's mine? I have it right here. It's a little patch and you wear it for 12 hours a day. And, one of my friends said, if you didn't question this, I would question you, because the science, the technology is something that's never been done before. And it's really hard to wrap your brain around the fact that a patch that you put on your body for 12 hours can create so much change. But it does, and it has the science, and it's well over 25 years old, this phototherapy technology. And the EON patch in particular that I wanted to address with ADD, ADHD, autism, anxiety, depression. It's helping with the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight nervous system. And this patch is known as the Peace Patch. It's our #2 best-selling patch in our company. We have 11 different patches. #1 is the stem cell activation patch, and we also use that on Andrew for healing. But it's also known as our #1 kids patch. I believe that every child should be on this patch because it's going to give them peace. It's going to reduce their stress. Kids are under a ton of stress nowadays. Like I
Mhm.
said earlier, with our environment and the cell phones and all that they're exposed to, they're under a tremendous amount of stress. And so it's just known as our peace patch. And we find people, kids that use this patch, they will ask their parents for this patch every morning, even when they're young, when they're 2 and 3 years old. They will ask for this patch. They call, some kids call it their super patch. Some kids call it their peace patch or their happy patch. I want my happy sticker, mom. And it does just give them that sense of peace and calmness, and calms that parasympathetic nervous system that will allow them just to function at a higher level. And so we've used this with Andrew. Alexis has been on it. After Andrew's accident, Alexis and Andrew lived together for a couple years, and they're very, very close. And I was worried that Andrew or Alexis was she was having major panic attacks, to the point where we brought her to the hospital one time because she was having a hard time coping with, she didn't know if her brother was going to make it. And so we started using this technology, particularly the stem cell patch and EON with Alexis. And Alexis doesn't have any more panic attacks. She is doing so, so well. She's at peace. She knows how to, she meditates now. She doesn't use any substances. Both my kids did drink and do smoke marijuana. I will just say that as a coping mechanism, but now they're learning how to use natural ways to help with their gift. Because again, this is a gift. It's a
Right.
superpower. They just
Yeah.
need to learn how to channel it the correct way.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. Well, then I'm thinking about some people that probably could use this, but in our conversations off camera, I think you mentioned something like some people are one-hit wonders and other people need a little bit more time. Can you explain that?
Yeah, that's more for the X39 stem cell activation patch. And that's a patch that can be used for healing, for pain, inflammation, for for prevention of things, although we're not going to say we're curing anything, but I've seen miracles. It's known as our miracle patch. Also, when there has something to do with mental health as well, emotional and spiritual. But EON is a fast acting patch. A lot of times people can feel it pretty quickly. They're going to feel a sense of peace. They're going to feel just that calm because it's going to calm them rather quickly. I love to do a stress test on people where I'll actually do a little test before I put the patch on, have them drink a little bit of water and do a test afterwards, and they can feel a difference rather quickly within 15 seconds of putting EON on. And especially if you're very in tune with your body, it's a very fast acting patch, which is so fun to witness and be happy to do it. You know, if I'm with anybody in person, I'd be happy to do it with anybody in person.
Okay. Well, you might get that chance.
I would love to. It's fun.
Yeah. All right. So for some people, what I understood you to say is that the X39, more for healing purposes. Some people would put that on like an acute injury and feel pretty good pretty fast. Is that correct?
Yeah, and even for chronic injuries, if you have chronic pain, some people will feel things right away, but some people, it will take time for them to have their body heal. That patch is also for age reversal. Every day that you wear it, you're aging a day backwards. So my children, they're young adults, so they both use X39 and EON. But if you have somebody, maybe under the age of 18, EON would be a very good patch that would help with just that the anxiety, the ADD, the ADHD, autism, very good. We have lots of testimonies with young children that are and teenagers that are using that with great success.
All right. So what I'm understanding now is a broad spectrum from the youngsters all the way to the older, more seasoned humans, because you and I have one person in common, which is my sister-in-law, Rosalie. I've been doing some documentary style videos about her journey because she just got started with this, and she is 80 years young. And so I need to actually check up on her about what she's been doing, because the latest thing that I heard in conversation again is that she felt like she was just tired and just couldn't really explain why she felt so lethargic. But it turns out she had been cooking that whole day prior, in preparation for Thanksgiving, things of that nature. But then there's another client that I have in mind whose back just really brought her some severe pain to where she had to, take some time off of training. And so if you were her trainer or advisor, how would you have her address that lower back issue?
Yeah, so I always tell people in our company as well, we would say if there's anything physically going on, so pain, inflammation, if there's anything that's mentally or emotionally going on, EON and X39 as an adult would be such a great solution for them. They would put EON on the back of the neck and X39 on their point of pain. If they don't have pain and it's more of an emotional, like my daughter, then just put X39 below the belly button. And those two work so well together because X39 is going to help with inflammation, but when you add EON, that really reduces the inflammation, and inflammation will eat stem cells. So when it comes to pain or mental health, we definitely want to reduce that inflammation so that the stem cell patch can work more effectively quicker.
Okay, I just noticed that you have one on your hand. I think that's your left, or is that your right hand?
The right hand. I just took that off of my
okay,
the back of my neck so I could show you guys.
Gotcha. All right.
You can actually put the patches anywhere. They're going to work systemically throughout your whole body. So when I hurt my foot, I literally put it on the bottom of my foot, and I was a one patch wonder. It helped my foot pain in 2.5 hours so I could go back to the gym the next day. And that caught my attention. And, but it's still going to work on my brain. It's still going to work on my heart. you'll appreciate this too because of your back history. But when you wear this X39 for 6 months, your heart's going to age backwards 8 years.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Say that again, please.
Yes. So when you wear X39 for 6 months, your heart is going to age backwards 8 years. And I want you to know, and all the listeners, that we do have the science behind it. We have over 200 patents. We have over 100 third-party double-blind clinical trials. And then we have millions of testimonies. And so if you want to get put in our testimonial group, Xavier can do that for you, or I can do that for you. It's on Facebook, and we just have lots. And we have a great link too that you can check out all the science and the testimonies, what doctors are saying, and what our scientist is saying.
That's a great segue because I have a page to share. It's actually a small little commercial of myself talking about my personal experience. So let's see what we can do on this. Let's switch the screen here and let's talk about this real quick. And we're going to replay this little quick commercial. And speaking of phototherapy, the more I do research on these little light therapy patches, the more I am impressed with what I'm finding out. So I want to introduce you to Christie right here. She's the main point of contact, the one who introduced me to him. So if you have questions and you're thinking about, you're on the fence about whether you should try these out, I would go ahead and say, yes, please. And then make sure you get in contact with me or Christie and let us know how we can serve you. So do your research and get back with us. Oh, and if you do reach out to her, make sure you tell her Coach X sent you.
I love that. I love that.
Well, hey, that's what it is right there. That's the truth.
Yes.
Here's where I get to share a little bit of my personal and business philosophy. I was just sharing this with Christie not too long ago. Let me bring this back up. My philosophy is quite simple. You know, I am 100% permission based, which means I won't do anything to you or for you without your express, almost written consent. Simply because there's a ton of solutions out there, folks. And sometimes the case may be that you are so focused on the problem that you won't even see the solution, even if it smacked you right in the face. So I want to wake people up to the possibilities of, yes, there is probably a solution right around the corner from you, but you now have to be open and aware to the solution frequency instead of the problem frequency.
I agree 100%.
Together, and we form something different, something that helps people go higher, not lower. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about light. It's all about frequency. It's all about positive energy. And, you know, Xavier, I do want to mention too, having my two children with ADD and ADHD, I wish as a parent that I had these patches and this technology when they were growing up, because I know it would have allowed me to be a more patient parent and definitely reduce the stress that I had in my life at the time of, you know, like I told my kids when they were teenagers, it's not easy being a kid. It's not easy being a parent, but we're going to get through this together. And I wish I had this technology just to kind of really help my parasympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight, you know, be able just to be a better parent. I know it would have taken a lot of stress off of me, and it would allow me to be able to handle situations more effectively, I believe. So, and I will tell you, this technology helped, and God helped me during Andrew's accident. I had a sense of peace and calm. I watched videos of me asking people on social media for prayer. We had thousands of people praying for him. And, you know, even in day like 4 and 5, I was so calm. And I was definitely wearing this technology to just help with that fight or flight nervous system. And I look back, I'm like, I don't know, that was interesting because the old Christie probably wouldn't have been able to be that calm. I was more the rock of the
Mm.
family at the time, because I had to also make a decision. The first night was very hard, and I had to make a decision. Christie, you got to be strong for your family, and I know that God and this technology helped me a lot, particularly EON.
Okay, that's good, because now I want to ask you another question, because it sounds to me like you are totally 100% invested in this light journey. And so at this point, are you open to like allopathic medication, or have you found this to be something that helps with many other things too?
Oh, I definitely would go the natural route first. I would definitely try these patches, and
Mhm.
our scientist is all about the whole person as well. Now, this might not work necessarily for kids, but just making sure that you are getting, well, yeah, it would work with kids. Get good sleep, drink lots of water, move your body, exercise, take good supplements, eat good food that's going to fuel your body. I was just saying the other day, that saying, you are what you eat, is so, so true. And I never really thought about that until, just recently, because it definitely is true. A lot of our food can cause a lot of inflammation that's going to cause a lot of health issues, either now or later. And then using a patch to definitely help all of that come into, it's just a tool in your toolbox to help with your health and wellness, mentally and physically.
There you go. There you go. So, for the person that might watch this later, they're a parent, they've got teenagers in the house who are perhaps running the household, and the parents are not running the household like it should be. Like, what advice would you give them for the parent and the kid? Like, how would you address that?
Well, it's going to take a lot of patience, right?
Mm.
And you definitely, I do understand that you want to be their friend, but they do need a parent. They do need boundaries. They do need a healthy environment to grow and love. And one thing that I learned about with my kids is, um, my kids, when they didn't want to talk, I didn't force them to talk to me. But when they were in the mood to talk, I would stop everything that I was doing. I work from home, so I would put my phone down. If the TV was on, I'd turn the TV off, and I would let them talk for as long as they want to. And I think having that open communication when they're ready to communicate is so important, because they have a lot that they need to get off of their chest too. And when they're open and ready to do it, just let them talk. You might not always like some of the things that are coming out, because, they're going to tell you a lot about what their friends are doing, what they might be doing. And you're like, oh, or what their sister is doing, right? Or what their brother is doing. And you're like, what am I going to do with that? But just lead with love, lead with kindness, have patience, and and just set those boundaries, because they really do need those boundaries. They're actually they're asking for them
Mm.
in an indirect way.
Right.
And so and lots of prayer.
Yeah.
Lots of prayer, and build a community around you. If you ever want to reach out to me, or Coach
Yeah.
X, we're definitely here for you. It does take a village to raise a family, and
Yeah.
you're definitely not alone, like Xavier said.
Yes. Yes. I need people to understand that. Like, when you reach out to me, I'm already at the frequency of solutions. That's where my mindset is. Like,
You
so
are.
sometimes I
I
appreciate
can
that.
personally vouch for that. You helped me a lot in a lot of
Yes.
different ways.
Hey, well, that's
So
what I'm
thank
here
you.
for.
Yes.
You are most welcome. And that's what I like. If I were running for an office of some sort, that would be my campaign. Like, my mindset is on a higher frequency of solutions. So sometimes I might come across as aloof or unconcerned, but in actuality, I am truly concerned. I'm concerned with helping you go up, not down, not stay stuck where you are, but go spiral upward. And
Yes.
I do believe that there is purpose to everyone's being here. And this is what I have chosen, wake up to a life of purpose. And we get to choose that every day. And it's not like I've heard conversations, I've been in conversations with myself back when I was incarcerated for 17 years. That's a whole nother topic. But my mindset is what kept me in jail, in prison, because I was bitter, mad, frustrated, angry at the world, all because of what my perception of what my parents did or didn't do for me. And then I
Mhm.
realized, hey, it's not them, it's me.
Mm.
But again, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. And so thank you, Christie, for spending time on this beautiful, glorious Saturday to enlighten us on some solutions that may work for you. Now, the topic today was talking about and having a conversation about ADHD warriors, and not doing it the allopathic way, because we all know that that has limits. It has a purpose, but we're not talking about that right now. So if you have curiosity about this, be sure to click the link in the description. You will see my little commercial. And from there, underneath that video would be more educational content strictly from Lifewave itself. That will get your foot in the door. Hopefully, you got enough curiosity to reach out to Christie, reach out to myself. I will just point you to Christie because she is the expert, and she has a lot of personal and business experience. How long you been doing this, Christie?
I've been with Lifewave for over 4 years. And again, I wasn't looking for another business. I was happy where I was at. I've been in network marketing for 19 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually allowed me to be at home with my kids and raise them from home. So I'm truly grateful for this industry. And I feel once I learned about this technology, I felt like it was, especially after Andrew's accident, I felt like it was an moral obligation that I needed to share this with the world, because a lot of people don't know about this light and this energy and frequency healing. And there is a better way. And we do have a better way, and we
Mm-hmm.
have more technology coming in the future. But our scientist, his mission and purpose is just to help people live a better quality of life longer and healthier. So who doesn't want to be a part of that? We all want to age, be healthy in our later years, right? And we
Yeah.
all want to be mentally um, acute and aware and balanced as well. So that's what our scientist goal is. So I love being on this movement and mission with you and him, the whole team, and everybody that is involved. It's so much fun.
So basically, you would recommend this for parents, for teens, preteens. You would
Oh,
recommend it.
yes. Yes. I mean, I know people that put Eon on their children to help them sleep at night. They put Eon on for tooth pain, like when their kids are teething, for anything that, when kids are stressed or have the focus issues, Eon is the best patch for that.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Yes,
Well, I have to have you back on the show. Maybe we can next topic we can
please.
talk a little bit more about the journey that your son had to get on from the accident. That sounds like
Yes.
a really amazing comeback story because I mean he's walking around. He's pretty as much as normal can be. I don't know what that is, but as
Yeah,
normal
you
as
wouldn't even know he was in an accident. And he didn't get addicted to pain medicine. He never went through depression. He's never been a victim.
mm,
And he truly is loving life. And I love that about Andrew. And
nice.
yeah, he's a miracle. And I will forever call these miracle patches because I've seen so many.
There you go. Well, I'm glad I'm on board the train. I'm glad you're on board the train. Teet, teet.
Yes, let's go.
And
Thank you, Xavier.
yes, that signifies you. That little toot, toot, that's your invitation to get on my train, whether it's Christie's train, my train, whatever the case may be. We are all about solutions, folks. So if you're ready to vibrate up to a level of solutions, I'm here for you. I've probably been here for you, but we just need to make sure that your focus is in the right place. And we are here to serve. So, with that said, anything else
Absolutely.
that you would want the viewers to know about you, your solutions, or whatever's on your mind, Christie, let us know.
I would just say that you're worthy of taking a look at this. You deserve to take a look at this. and give yourself and the technology the respect it deserves to do what it needs to do for whatever it is for your body and for your family's body. And I guarantee you're going to thank Xavier after you start using it, and you'll wish that you would have done it many years earlier.
Yeah,
I
well,
wish I had this technology when my kids were growing up, but
there you go.
I didn't know about it. It was there, but I didn't know about it.
Right. So that's the perfect opportunity right there. So when we get aware and we start shifting the spotlight from problem to a solution, it's amazing how many things just kind of flow in if you allow it.
Yes, that's so true.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on the train. Thank you for watching the show, and stay tuned for the repurposing of this because it's coming. And why be mediocre when you can be excellent? I want you to stay right there, Christie. We're signing off.
Okay.
Until next time, folks.